In this lesson, I want to talk to you guys about my recommendations for using the One-Click Video Site Builder plugin, but more specifically geared towards Amazon affiliates. Now this could technically still be used for pretty much any kind of niche marketing and potentially any kind of affiliate marketing too. However, the things that I'm going to be demonstrating and talking about will specifically be geared towards Amazon affiliates. With most Amazon affiliate websites, or at least if you've built them the way that I recommend for them to be built, you're likely targeting a single niche or possibly a certain kind or a small selection of Amazon products. And then the rest of the content and the pages on your website are all centered around that one idea. With a website like this, One-Click Video Site Builder makes a really nice addition because you can use this to add supplemental content to your website that can help to simply give users more information that they can go through to help them to build additional trust with you. And then you can also use this kind of stuff to increase the ranking power of certain pages of your website, or even to refer direct Amazon affiliate sales. So to start with any given niche or type of product that you might be trying to promote, you likely have certain activities that those products are used with. Just as an example, let's take skiing equipment. If I was to build an Amazon affiliate site centered around winter skiing equipment, then pretty much everything on that entire website would have something to do with that kind of equipment. And you obviously would have some easy activities that you could come up with that would involve that type of equipment. This could be simple stuff like simply going to ski, learning how to ski. It could be certain tricks. It could be other types of skiing like snowboarding. It could even be specific locations with some types of products in some niches, and skiing being one of them. If you were to go out there and compile a list of the different ski slopes and ski resorts that are around and try to target that kind of information, all of this stuff is not only really useful to your website visitors, but this can also be really great sources of targeted search engine traffic, and then this kind of thing leads directly into sales on Amazon affiliate products. So what I want you to think about when using One-Click Video Site Builder are the various types of activities, essentially the things that you can do with the products you are trying to sell. Then you want to try to find videos that are actually related to those different kinds of activities. So just as an example, let's say I type in snow skiing, and then I go and preview my videos, and I can find some kind of skiing lesson or video that I am looking for. I actually kind of like the idea of this one, carving ski lesson. I could easily find a variety of different kinds of ski lessons, and I could load them up into a section of my website. I'll go ahead and take this particular one, even though I'm not previewing it to make sure it's actually a good video. which is something that I would recommend for you to do. Just doing this for demonstration purposes at the moment, though. So once I have my ski lesson video up on my website, I can then see what I'm working with in terms of the description. And if I wanted to go ahead and check out the video at this point, I could. The main thing, though, that I would be focused on at this point is simply to customize this content as much as possible, something I talked to you about in the previous general training lesson. The title especially, you want to try to modify that. I could do something like carving or a snow skiing lesson carving, snow skiing lesson number 1 carving, or something, to that effect. So to a certain extent, I still really have the same information there in the title, but it is a more unique title now. If somebody sees this in the search rankings on, say, Google, they would be a lot more inclined to click on something like this than they would be the previous title, especially if there are other pages using that exact same title. And also, I've kind of, by putting the number 1 on here, since this is a lesson and I could easily find other kinds of lessons to put forward, I could simply have a series of them together, and this number 1 kind of indicates to people that, hey, they don't just have this one lesson, but they might likely have some other lessons that I could check out too. When I look in the description of this information, a large chunk of this information does seem to be promotional. All of this stuff up at the top, this is talking about like a DVD, reviews. This is a review again on their DVD. So essentially, once I wipe out all of the promotional material, this is basically what I'm left with. I have these 3 chunks of information, and so beyond wiping out all of this stuff that I don't need and all of the marketing material that's in there, I would then want to continue on and embellish on this content so I could then make it unique for me. If I was going to leave this content intact, I would bump it down the page and start writing my unique content here. However, if you can simply take this information and rephrase it into your own words, for example, the initial training lesson in our snow skiing series is for intermediates. I could even say for maybe beginners to intermediates. And this class focuses on learning to carve snow. So I still have the same information there, but I've embellished on it a little bit, and I've put it in my own words. Simple changes like that, and just replacing the existing content that is there, is much, much better than just publishing this content as it comes straight off of YouTube. So you would want to continue on, either customize all of it like that, or completely wipe it out and add your own unique content. Or if you are going to leave it, make sure you add at least a couple hundred words of unique content at the top of the page before all of this automated stuff. Beyond that, for this particular page, I need to remove my featured image. Because this particular theme, it simply doesn't work good with the featured image showing up there. So there I have reduced my page into something that makes a little more sense, something that is a little more useful for actual readers on my website. So now the question is, once I have this content put up that is centered around some kind of topic that relates to what my whole website is about and the products that I'm trying to sell on it, what's the next step with it? With any kind of content like this, you likely have other pages on your website already. You might have some pages that promote specific products, and you may also have some other informational content on your website that targets certain keyword phrases. Go through your Google Analytics information, assuming that you are tracking your traffic, and try to find out some more information about the most popular pages on your website. What are the most popular pages in terms of traffic that search engines are sending to your website? Which pages perform the best? Try to go and find those rankings yourself on the Google website. And what I like to do is if I have certain pages that are performing good, but maybe they're not at the very top of the rankings, I will take these additional supplemental content pages and use them to link up. So I'm sending a link from this particular page to another page on my site, and that other page of my website is the one that I'm trying to boost my search engine rankings for. So with something like that, let's say I had a product page for a certain type of ski. I've gone snow skiing a couple times. However, I really don't know much about them. Okay, so we'll use this one just as an example. Let's say I have a page on my website about the Blizzard Zero G95. I would then create a number of these different video posts on my website that related to the kind of skiing that could be done with this type of ski. And this is also assuming that this page on my website, maybe I have decent search rankings for it, but maybe I'm like at the bottom of page 1, or maybe I'm even on page 2 or page 3, and I want to boost that ranking up so I actually start getting some much better traffic for it. I'll find that related content that again can be covered by all these different videos. I'll create these video pages, customize all the content for it, and then finally I'm looking to simply send a link from these video pages to that page where I'm trying to boost the search rankings for. So I might have a link something like this. I might have a sentence at the very end of my content that essentially leads them into what it is that I'm trying to sell or the page that I'm trying to get them to go and visit. So I just said something like, for this type of skiing, I recommend the Blizzard Zero G95. What I would then want to do is take this phrase, Blizzard Zero G95, that would likely be the keyword phrase that I was trying to boost my search rankings for. And I try to change up the phrase that I would use for this linking if I'm going to be doing this on multiple pages over and over again, so you're not using the same exact phrase all the time. But still, you would want to use a lot of the important keywords. On another page, I might just call it the G95 or the Zero G95 or the Blizzard Zero or the Blizzard G95. You know, there are a number of different ways that you can mix and match all those different words and still kind of mean the same thing. and Google counts all that stuff as different variations that you are using on that keyword. So I would take that keyword phrase and simply create a link with that keyword phrase from this video page to the product page. Again, that product page would be on my website, and that product page would then be promoting this actual product as an Amazon affiliate. Now, you could kind of do the same type of things with products. Before I jump into that, I just wanted to show you, another example of a way I could come up with content for this kind of thing. Beyond those skiing lessons that I found, I could also look for the most popular ski resorts in the USA or North America. For example, right here, one of these two listings, even one of these other ones would be just fine. And I could likely find certain ski resorts that are sought after and popular, and I could try to target them. Okay, so here we go. Jackson Hole. I could continue down the list. It looks like that is in Wyoming, I believe. Snowbird. So I continue on down this list. I find a number of these different ski resorts. And then what I could do is take this information back over to the plugin. And so we'll just do Jackson Hole, Wyoming, just as an example here. I could just try typing in Jackson Hole to start with. So I'm going to go with snow skiing Jackson Hole and see what I can come up with. So in addition to making potentially even just one video showing each of these different popular ski slopes or ski resorts, I could potentially do a variety of them. A lot of ski resorts have a number of different runs on each resort. This particular video right here looks like it's for a specific run at that particular ski resort. So I could even find a map of this place and try to find a number of these different runs that they have there and show some kind of video for it. Now this kind of thing, especially if you can find some, pretty interesting or entertaining video, it can be pretty inspiring to people to see it, and then, it really kind of makes them want to go and do that stuff. And if you're trying to sell these kind of products as an affiliate, if they don't already have, say, skis and things of that nature, that makes for a really good opportunity to then try to sell things like skis to them. So with this concept, targeting this particular industry and products relating to it, I could very feasibly have an almost endless amount of content that I could come up with that would have to do with snow skiing. And all this stuff, as long as I were to go through and customize each of these video pages, would give me an immense amount of information and really good search rankings for a wide variety of different keyword phrases. And ultimately, Google is going to be able to look at a website like this and say, okay, they're not just spamming pages of different kinds of snow skiing products. They also have all these other relational types of keyword phrases. Things like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, for example. If you were to go and type a phrase like this into Google, Google understands that you might be searching for something like snow skiing. And so when you create content on your own website that has these other relational keyword phrases in it, your entire website as a whole becomes more powerful. You get to target a wider variety of keyword phrases, and ultimately any of the traffic you can bring in on these types of keyword phrases, they're going to be interested in snow skiing and may potentially be able to, be a customer of one of the products that you're promoting. Now, in most cases, if you wanted to use one of these pages with your video to try to promote sales on an actual Amazon affiliate product, my number one recommended way of approaching that is the method that I've already showed you. Put some kind of link bait sentence down at the bottom of your content to the point where when somebody finishes watching the video and looking through your information that you have about it, this is going to be the last thing that they run into. And as long as there's some kind of a nice connection with what you're just showing them and the link that you're trying to get them to follow at the bottom, a lot of people will follow that, and it has search engine ranking benefits to help and make the page that you're linking to much more powerful to boost the rankings of that page for related keywords that you're using in these links. That page is then the one that actually has the Amazon affiliate advertisement on it. However, you could do something where you created individual advertisements and actually put those ads on these pages somewhere within this content. However, you would need to make sure that whatever product it is that you were trying to sell, that there was some kind of a direct relation to what the video was about. Now, yes, you can go to Amazon and try to find a product that you want to promote. I'll just go with some snow goggles this time. So I'm going to take the name of this pair of snow goggles and I'm going to punch this into one-click video site builder. So you can see that there are certainly videos available for this exact product. So in theory, I could create pages with this plugin that would be targeting specific products too. Have the video for it, have some custom content written up in the description, and then include some kind of an Amazon product advertisement within that page. However, personally, I find that the videos that relate to a very specific type of product, like a lot of these videos would be, a large chunk of them are going to be really heavy on the marketing. For example, this one here, it actually has a website just in the title of the video. And so I'd be willing to bet that in this video, they're going to be pitching that product or pitching you to visit their website or something of the sort. And so when you compare that with the previous kind of video that I was showing you, with a skiing lesson, these a lot of times might be geared towards some kind of commercial business, a ski school, a ski resort, or something like that. But a lot of those other videos for the actual ski slopes themselves, where I went out and I found the most popular resorts and went and searching for videos on them, a good chunk of videos like that are really more created by just your average person that might just be, say, on a vacation skiing there, and they shoot a video and they put it up on YouTube for friends of theirs to see. Those types of videos do not have marketing material in them in a large chunk of cases. So personally, I like using the video approach better with the kinds of videos that are less likely to have that marketing content in it. So it's still certainly possible to build product pages with a plugin like this, but I'd really recommend for you to instead focus on the non-marketing types of videos that are going to bring in targeted traffic to your website, and then try to forward that traffic along to relevant product pages of your website. Now, the final recommendation that I have for you today in terms of utilizing this plugin, especially for an Amazon affiliate website, with the different kinds of videos that I've just shown you, I could easily group these videos into a number of different categories. Ultimately, any video that you post is going to be sorted into some kind of a WordPress category. Within the WordPress post system, you have a categories section here. I would highly recommend, if you're going to have more than one type of video that you're going to be posting with this one-click video site builder plugin, that you create categories to organize those videos. So with my example here today being applied to the categories, I would have a category on ski lessons. I would have a category on ski resorts or ski slopes. And I could potentially have another category on skiing gear or skiing products. So just those three right off the bat, they're pretty vague categories. You know, I could go into much more detail with them. I could have a section on beginner skiing lessons and an intermediate skiing lessons and advanced skiing lessons. I could expand and do other types of stuff like snowboarding and pretty much do all those types of categories again, but for snowboarding. So the possibilities for this are really limitless. The point though is that when you create all of these posts, you want to be organizing them into some kind of a category, so then you can organize the public side of your website, have these different categories linked to in your menus, so then people can navigate to them and find the appropriate information that they are looking for. This also has search engine ranking benefits as well, for you to be able to organize all this stuff into relational categories. So no matter what purpose you might be using this particular plugin for, that recommendation can really apply to you. So make sure you're, utilizing that suggestion. It can really be beneficial, not just for your search engine rankings, but for simply the sake of usability on your site. Visitors will be able to find the information that they are looking for, and that ultimately can help lead them to that affiliate sale much easier.